job goes out there and does exactly that and says, Dan Bilzerian told me to. God forbid. And I don't want that to happen because I don't like to see people die and I don't want to see everybody get shut down. But that's not a game. It's not funny. It's not cool. It doesn't make you a tough guy, Mr. 5'9", roid head. Nobody is impressed with that. Nobody is impressed with you. You think because you take steroids and you pay girls to pose with you in your daddy's house, paid for by your daddy's company, and you go on an interview and you say, give me a fucking gun, I'm gonna fucking kill people. You think anybody is impressed with that little act? You think anybody finds that heroic, courageous, brave? You want to get a gun and kill?
Actually, a lot of people do find that funny, and a lot of people do think Dan Bilzerian is a cool guy. Actually, I myself, I used to like Dan Bilzerian. Like, just the way his lifestyle is, he looks like he's living life on his terms. And you can't hate him. You can't hate him for that. But when you go around trying to get into politics with this kind of dangerous mentality, then for sure you have to speak out.
Tell people, we're waiting. I would never encourage that. It's a tough guy shtick. And it has no place in a serious political movement. None of that has any place in a serious political movement. All that is a giant liability. You talk like that, you're gonna get some false flag and they're writing your name on the rifle in white Sharpie. That's what's gonna happen next. You talk like that, they're gonna take away free speech. They're trying to. What do you think they're talking about at every World Jewish Congress? What do you think they're talking about?
You know something that Alex Jones said, who I know a lot of you guys don't necessarily like? I know a lot of people don't necessarily like Alex Jones, but he said something that I really resonated with, which is that could it be that all these people like DJT, Dan Bilzerian, they are actually all like infiltrators that have been put in there? Like, and this is all just not like confirmed, right? But could it be that they've just been put in there to then make the populist movement to become just unpopular? Right? Because if you remember, a lot of people were actually with the whole Make America Great.
Celebrity with 16 million followers goes on a live stream with a young Gen Z streamer and says, we're going to fucking kill Israelis. What do you think happens after that? You are begging them to break all of our backs and bring censorship down on us. You are begging the telecom companies to take away the websites. You're begging Homeland Security to knock on everybody's door that has ever talked to you.
Pretty much.
So you know what?
Pretty much. Like, I think what has happened here is like, I think this guy is correct for sure. I think what's happening here is that they are using these people, and feel free to correct me in the chats if you think I'm wrong, guys, but I really think that they're using these popular right-wingers to make like the whole Make America First movement, which should not be owned by one person. By the way, I know DJT likes to make claims to that, but I don't think it should be owned by one person. They're trying to make that to become unpopular again. And it was getting a lot of traction when DJT really won, like in a landslide, only for him to then just turn around and do what he's doing right now. Definitely a slap in the face to the people that supported him, and definitely taking the MAGA movement, which is actually not a bad movement if it was implemented, right? It's actually not bad. It's not bad to want to put your country first, guys. Charity begins at home. I believe it's in the Bible as well. But now he's made that movement, set it back a couple decades at least, for sure.
Tough guy, you know what, Gorilla? You did us a huge favor. Now nobody can ever say that we have anything to do with each other because I don't want to be associated with that. You're going around talking about Ben Shapiro, Israelis, give me a gun. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Good luck with the slut running the 50-person conference. Good luck with your campaign against Randy Fine. And by the way, he's running against Randy Fine in Florida's 6th district. You live in Las Vegas. You live in Las Vegas. You're running in Eastern Florida. That's for openers. Hey, everybody, do you want to know the average age of a Republican primary voter in the district in which Dan Bilzerian wants to win the Republican primary? It's 57.2 years old. Donald Trump carried that district by 30 points last year. No money. He's going to do it in 3 months, and he's going to do it from the fun house with the trampoline and the paintball field in Las Vegas. How's that?
We can only hope. Say whatever you want about Dan Bilzerian, but he's at least honest, and he said what he's going to do. So anybody voting for him right now, don't come crying about it when he's like a warmonger, because he's made it very clear that his priority is going to be like war and not peace. So, yeah.
Going to happen. Oh, and by the way, he's also going to do it by alienating the #1 Israel critical live streamer in the country as well, in addition to Dave Smith, in addition to Asmongold, and in addition to everybody else, because that's doing something. Right? We're over here complaining that's doing something. Well, riddle me this. How does losing primaries do anything for anybody? Casey Push losing 82-18. What does that do other than waste everybody's time and money? Losing against Randy Fine. What does that do other than make us look like losers and waste everybody's time and money? It does nothing. And it is highly, highly overrated. Symbolic actions, gestures by people that don't even know what they're doing. I had to explain to Dan what a governor or a congressman even does. He talked about running for governor, running for president, eventually settled on Congress. Maybe that was Jake Shields' idea. That was the think tank. They wrote it out in crayon. They wrote it out in magic marker. They said, President.
To be fair, though, he's not the only one, right? Like, I saw a picture with this guy. Who's the guy that fought against Anthony Joshua? That is it, Jake Paul? He with a picture. I don't know if that was AI though, but apparently, like, he was meeting up with DJT and all that. So, yeah, like, I think nowadays, I won't be surprised if we start seeing more social media figures inside of politics, because I think these politicians, they're pretty clever, right? They're very adjustable. They can see that is where the younger people are watching their news from, is on social media, the TikToks, the Instagrams. So they're starting to get on there as well and starting to tap in with these influencers. But that's just my own 2 cents. I don't really know, right? What do I know? Just a chap over here behind a sure mic.
Senator, Congressman. Which one? You know, the think tank. The think tank. They were gathered there in the war room, hitting the bong, hitting the vapes, bouncing on the trampoline. Jake Shields was bouncing on the trampoline. Dan Bilzerian was hitting the bong. Leonida was over there. They're tapping their heads with their pencil. So we won for... I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed I was ever associated with these people. I have an ecumenical mindset. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I say, look, the more
honestly,
the merrier.
You know what? It takes a lot.
It
takes a lot for a guy to acknowledge and admit, like, what Nick is doing here, that he regrets his previous associations. But I would argue that why regret it, right? I think in every relationship that we have, like, it's always serves its purpose. So at the time that he was associating with them, it was probably for a reason. And it's fine that now he's disassociating himself from them, but I don't think that he should not be grateful for the times that they had. But it still takes a big person to be able to know that, okay, you know what, like, these guys are wrong right now, and then say it, despite being once allied with them.